Hello, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. My name is Sue Sanders, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I want to welcome you to tonight's episode of Two on Thursday. I really don't know what name I want to give this. Stamping with Suzie Q, Suzie Q's free card making class. I don't know. We'll just end up making up a name, I guess. So I have gotten some of the issues worked out with my videos. I've got a new computer. It's heavy. It's like a gaming computer, so it's got lots of memory and stuff on it. Except my ring light went out this week, and I can't get it turned on, so I'm working with another light that's giving me glare, but we're just going to have to deal with it until I can get another ring light. So I want to congratulate Cherie for winning last week's cards. So this was one of the cards that we made, and it has the butterfly that I painted with the ink and the Wink of Stella on vellum. And then on the inside, you have the piece of paper that you can stamp on if you want to. Okay, so that is the one card that we made. And then we made this one here, which is a mailbox card, and it stands up like so. So it's an easel card, and it was using the Love to You, I believe. Anyway, the postage set. So hi, Cherie. You're welcome, girl. You are welcome, welcome. I have got lots to get out in the mail this week before I leave next Wednesday. I tell you, my days are just disappearing on me. I don't know what's going on. So I know that there's glare, but I can't really do anything about that because of the lighting that I have since my ring light. Okay, it's more of a shadow, not a glare. I was just informed by the professional photographer over here. So I want to remind you of a couple of things. Stampin' Up! Has put out 2 brand new kits today. One is called Your Day to Shine, and I believe it's $14. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but it looks like it's a really pretty kit with a lot of different embellishments and things like that. So that one can be ordered under the kits collection now. And then they have this one, which really looks fun. Fun if you've got grandkids, even adults. They like to play with things like these. So this is called Frog and Friends. So I'm going to have to get this one, I think, just to play with it because it's got frogs and it's got fish on it. It looks like it might have like a little shark. To me, they look like little puppets. I'm not sure exactly what they do. I haven't read too much about it, but it looks interesting and it looks kind of fun to put together for kids. So that one I believe is $12. So right before we went on, I did check the inventory, and there is still quite a bit of the core colors that are out, the paper and the inks and things. And I did read in our email this week from Stampin' Up! That they are having some issues with their suppliers. So I'm not sure exactly what that means, but they're hoping that they can get it figured out. If there is a particular product that you're wanting and it says currently unavailable, shoot me an email or a text message, and I can keep that in a little file that I'm keeping so that when I check inventory, then I can check it against those little cards that I have, and I can go ahead and let you know that it's orderable at that time so we can get things that people are wanting. The mini catalog does run until the end of April, and so does the annual catalog. Girls, I am so excited and I just cannot wait. Dorothy and I will leave on Wednesday, March 13th at probably about 4 o'clock in the morning to head to Houston. because Dorothy won't sleep the night before. So there's no point in, waiting until 6 o'clock. So anyway, you can be watching for updates because I think that her and I might do some tag teaming on little short lives of what's going on in Houston at the Onstage convention. We are very, very excited. I just cannot wait because I will have new information to give to you. We will know some of the new product that's going to be coming out in the annual catalog. I want to see, turn that light down just a bit. Okay. Okay, turn it off and let me see if I can see with just my overheads. Hi, Charlene. Oh, what am I getting glare from? Or from shadow? I'm getting shadow from something.
Yeah, Mama, it's the lights overhead coming down and giving us.
Oh, okay. So it's my overhead lights. Can't do nothing about that.
You want this on or off?
Just leave it off. All right. So I'm still taking inventory of what I need to change in my studio to get the lighting better. Okay. So Charlene, you didn't miss very much. You probably have already seen the new kits if you've gone out to the Stampin' Up website to see those. Cherie, I have your free gift that you got from the Super Sunday stamping. I'm going to get that in the mail to you, along with your cards and anything else that I may have for you. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to kind of do a series the next couple of weeks on my favorite. Yes, Cherie, I did. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. I don't need to mail it. Well, if I'm out and about, I might. So what it says is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And it's Philippians 4:13. It's written in my mom's handwriting. And this was my dad's favorite verse. It has a little heart up there. And then it has a little butterfly over here to represent my Aunt Dorothy, who passed away, and she loved butterflies. So, yes, I got a tattoo a couple of weeks ago. You didn't get a notification? Well, maybe I didn't put one out, Charlene. 2024 has not been a super fantastic year for me. I think since the beginning of the year, I have been out at least 2 days a week for doctor's appointments, whether they were my doctor appointments or mom's doctor's appointments. But I think we are getting closer to figuring out why mom falls. So that's a good thing. We have to go see a neurologist next. So anyway, what I was saying was I think for the next couple of weeks, I am going to do a sequence of videos that have my favorite and my least favorite papers in the annual catalog. So tonight I'm going to show you 2 of those. The first one I'm going to show you is my least favorite in the catalog, and it was the Zanny Zoo. So the Zanny Zoo paper had animals, all kinds of animals. Get my rest of my pack here because I'm going to show you some cards that I put together this morning using this paper. And so I've used up most of it. I have some scraps, but it came with lots of animals on the paper. And then on the back side, it was all black and white designs. So I thought, I didn't get the stamp set because I didn't like the animals really. They're just not my thing. But I thought, I've got to use up this paper because if I don't use up the paper, it's just going to sit in my cabinets. So I made up this card and I'm going to show you how we made it. So I started out with, do you hear that rain? Oh my goodness, it is just coming down like crazy. So I started off with a basic white thick cardstock. Hi, Mom. I'm glad you made it on. And this measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to just burnish that real good. Okay. Then I cut a piece of the lemon lolly, and I do love this yellow. And this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And my third layer, which is the Zanny Zoo paper, is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere my paper, and I'm using the side that's the black and white with the flowers. And I'm just going to use some glue to glue this on. Hi, Mary. How are you doing, girlfriend? I'm glad you made it on live tonight. A, you're not working, or B, your patient is sleeping. Not always sure. All right, so we're going to take and glue that down as even as possible. The next thing that I did was I took the modern oval punch, and this is still unavailable for a while yet, ladies. But when it becomes available, if this is a product that you really want to have because it's a really cool punch, let me know, and I will put your name on the list for this so that I can let you know when it comes back in stock. And I took my punch, and I'm going to punch through both of these pieces of paper, and I just kind of lined up my punch to the edge of the designer series paper. And I'm just going to punch it out, and I'm not going to throw this away. I'm going to keep it. I'll find a use for it somewhere. The next thing that I did, because I didn't want it all just black and white, and you may not be able to see these unless I turn my lights on, and I might have to do that. And that is, okay, where's my other blend at? Did it fall on the floor? Nope, there it is. Found it. I can quit looking for it. I've got Lemon Lolly, Parakeet Party, and Pool Party. Yeah, Pool Party. Got 2 parties. And all I did was I took the nib end, and I just started kind of coloring in these flowers to give it some color. And there was no rhyme or reason. I just randomly colored them. So we're going to color some of these flowers tonight. So what are you all going to do this weekend? Don't forget, we have Coffee, Chat, and a Card on Saturday at 10 o'clock. And I am going to be showing you some of the new product from the online exclusives that I received. And it is very fitting for Coffee, Card, and a Chat, or Coffee, Chat, and a Card. So I'm anxious about that. So besides getting all of my stuff ready to go to on stage next week, I have to do laundry, clean house. I would like to finish my taxes because I really don't want to have to come home and face that, because the end of March and the beginning of April look like they're going to be just as busy as January, February, and March. I don't know whether my life will ever slow down. Perhaps. All right, so like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. I just scattered the pool party around, and now I'm going to go in and with the lemon lolly, and I'm going to fill in some flowers with the lemon lolly. And like I said, you may not, I don't know if you can see. Can you see? I was told it was way too close. But can you see the pool party flowers? Okay. Lemon lolly is really light, but it does, you can see it in person. You don't have to color all of them. You can leave some of them just the black and white. I always kind of get carried away and I can't stop once I've started coloring part of the pattern. It's like, yeah, that looks odd. I have to finish all of them. But that might take a little bit too much time tonight. So we're just
finish them when you're doing the other.
Okay. Dorothy said she's going to finish them up for me because this is something that you can go ahead and what I will do is do all of the top up here where I'm going to do my greeting at. So I used a couple of different stamp sets tonight for the cards because I wanted to have a banner, and the only banner that is, and really, why am I doing this? They're going to be covered up with my banner. The only banner that we still have that's available is from the carousel horse set. And so I used it. And then I used another set that had a very tiny greeting on it. All right, that's good. Dorothy can finish coloring these in. I'm going to take my parakeet party, and I'm going to just kind of do the leaves. And some of them I just did the leaves. I didn't do any of the flower part. But it softens this up so it's not so, I don't know, bold white, I guess. And I just like the looks of how it looked. I did go on the inside, the center circle, and I did that with the parakeet party also, so that it was like the inside of a flower. Okay, so you all get the idea. And like I said, Dorothy's going to finish coloring it in for me when I get to the other card. And I've got the area up here that's going to be covered by the banner. I've got that completed. So how have y'all's week been? Tell me about it. If you're on YouTube, I can't see your comments. But if you're on Facebook, I can. Nobody's on YouTube tonight, huh? Well, I'm glad that some of you went ahead and watched the video last week that was recorded. I hate to say this, but I would have rather been on the video with y'all. Seriously. I was having issues with my Zoom, and I wasn't able to, I kept freezing up. They couldn't see me. I just wanted to throw in my hands and throw in the towel. But anyway, all right. So that's enough coloring for me. We're going to go on to the next step. We're going to attach this now to our white card base. And so I'm going to just use my glue for this. So yes, I know that we normally have coffee, chat, and a card on the second Friday, but I'm going to get my hair done tomorrow because it is driving me crazy. It gets to a point where it's so long and then it just kind of sticks out wherever it wants to, and I can't handle it. So, all right, so now I've got that laid down. So on the banner, and I used the stamp that I haven't used this set, but maybe once. And I demonstrated it since I got it. And it's called Lazy Days. And it has this really little saying that says, when it's your birthday. And I thought that's exactly what I need for my banner. because I needed something little. I went ahead and I stamped my banner and die cut it. And I stamped Pool Party onto the lemon lolly, and I'm using the pebbled path. Hi, Teresa, you're back from Florida. Well, good deal, girl. I'm using the pebbled path to stamp this in. And I got to get it a little bit closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. And the banner is kind of off. So you're going to say, oh, well, you've got that crooked. It looks crooked, but it's really not because of the way the banner is, because I can straighten out the banner. And before we go any further, just in case I mess up, we're going to go ahead and stamp the inside of our card. And so, because it says on the front, when it's your birthday, we're going to put celebrate, and we're going to do that in the pebbled path also. And this one comes from the Share a Milkshake stamp set. So I've got celebrate. There we go. And then I thought, you know what? I want something else besides just celebrate. So in that heartfelt hexagon set that matches that hexagon punch that we have, it has let's eat cake. And I thought, yes, let's celebrate and eat cake. And that I am going to stamp in the parakeet party because it's nice and bright, and I just think it's really kind of a cool color. And it's not one of my favorites, but it does serve its purpose. So I've got here, celebrate, let's eat cake. Okay, so there's that. Did pretty good on that. While we're on the inside, what I'm going to do, so what I did, ladies, is I took my modern oval punch and I went through all of that designer series paper that had the animals on it, and I punched out a whole bunch of the animals using that and using some circles and all of that stuff. So now I'm going to put in the little raccoon with the balloons. He's going to go inside the card, but I cut a pool party with that punch, and I'm just going to cut it right up the center, or as close to the center as my eyes will allow. And I'm going to glue my label or my punch out on here to give it a little bit of a color behind it, so that I can put it down on that white piece and it'll show up. And you can do this with several of the punches where you can enlarge them kind of with a greeting by placing your one piece on top. You just kind of have to make sure that it's you want to make sure it's centered and not scooted up too high like I just did. Come on now, don't give me a hard time tonight. I know you want to, but you're not going to. No win. Okay, so there we've got a little bit of a blue outline to our raccoon. And see, you're not going to see that back piece. And now we're just going to glue this piece down on the inside of our card. Just like so. Okay, let's finish our front up. We're going to now take on our front, we're going to take some dimensionals, and we're going to pop up our koala bear with some dimensionals and have him popped up out of that hole. that we punched. So my original thought was to have him on the inside of the card, but the way I had punched my Lemon Lolly and my Designer Series paper, I couldn't get my punch into that basic white piece. And I knew, and I thought, well, I don't think I can, you know what I'm going to do with this guy to give him so that he pops out? I think I'm going to take that Pool Party. I think I'm going to take the Pool Party blender pen, and I am going to just kind of take it and bring it around the edges. That way, because I don't think mine stands out real good from that white paper. But I think by adding this, he's going to stand out a little bit more. That's Miss Daisy. She's joining us tonight. She hasn't joined us for quite some time. And you could do this with a finger dauber or a brush with the ink pad. I just have my blend out here right now, so that's what we're using. I think we're just going to put some Pool Party down here where he's standing at. That looks good. And because I already took off those sticker backs, now we're just going to add him, and we're going to keep him within that punched out area. And we're going to take some, we're going to take some dimensionals, and we're going to put them on our banner. And for this one here, I'm going to cut these in half. Put one there. Here. This might fit. Yep. Then I'm just going to use a skeleton piece and put it there. So Terry, did you have a nice time in Florida? Was the weather nice? Up until this week, we've been having some really nice weather here in Missouri. And I am just going to put my banner right there like so. So that's how that looks. And of course, we have to use some Winkostella. So I am going to use some Winkostella. And once we get the flowers all colored in, we'll go back and we'll put some Winkostella on them. But I am just going to color in my koala bear with the Winkostella. Give him some shine. And this could be for a child's birthday, or it could be for an adult. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to give some shimmer to our cupcakes. Except I forgot to wipe it off. Picking up the blue. Then I'm going to go ahead and shimmer up our little raccoon's balloons. Okay, so there is our card number 1. What did I do with that inside piece? There it is. Girls are not very talkative tonight. So there's card number 1 for you. That is one way that you can use that Zanny Zoo paper if you purchased the paper share and you got a quarter pack of it and you didn't know what to do with it. Let me show you a few other cards that I did today with it, girls. So I used the Countryside Corners, the die cuts, and I just put this on that Parakeet Party with a back piece of black. And I used some of the discontinued Parakeet Party in color ribbon that we had 2 years ago. I thought this one turned out really kind of cute, and I've got the saying. I haven't put any sayings on the inside of them yet, but these all look like relaxation things to me, and so I just cut different size circles out and then put that on a card front. This is just a note. There's a goat that's baking. And I like this one. This one says Happy Dance. The Happy Dance is from one of the retired, yes.
It's the
Which one was it?
it's the one with the roller skate.
Yes, it's the curved. And hi, Nanette. You're still working on swap cards, Nanette? I have got 50 done, and I don't know whether I'm going to get any more done or not. It's just going to depend. I may take some cards I've already made up this year. But anyway, it was the curved set that had Happy Dance, and I thought, well, that would be really cute. You could send that to a little girl that liked to dance, or to adults that like to dance. And then I thought, okay, I've got all of these black and white scraps that I can't get another animal out of. And I just made a scrappy card, and it's Let's Get Our Celebration On. And that's from the birthday balloons set. So there is some more ideas. All I did was use different shapes and cut out those different animals and used them on the card. And I'm almost done with all of that paper, which I'm really, really happy about. All right. So now let's go to my favorite paper from this year's annual catalog. So Nanette, how many swaps are you making? Are you making them for your organized swaps, or are you making them just to swap with regular people?
We have both.
We didn't sign up for any organized swaps.
Oh, okay.
I didn't feel that you could
Get that pressure on me.
Yeah. So my favorite paper in the annual catalog was the Countryside Inn paper. So if you remember, ladies, it was all of that blue. It had all the different blues in it. So it had, both sides were nothing but blues. It had balmy blue and boho blue, midnight. I think it had misty moonlight, maybe not, but it had night of navy. And I just absolutely love this paper. As you can see, I bought several packs, and I really need to start doing something with it so that I don't have it left over, because the new catalog will come out in May. So this is a real simple card, and you can use this layout with just about any kind of paper. You do want to watch, oh my gosh, 31 cards for the PJ swap, fun fold swap for 16. Your fun fold is using the Countryside Inn. You sent me the link for that fun fold swap. I just couldn't get it in my head what I would do, simply because of all the things that was going on in February and March, beginning of March. So I don't need those dies. So what I'm using for this is Night of Navy is my card base. That is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of the Designer Series paper that is cut at 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And we're going to cut that in half to make our triangles. And then I've got, and I do have a piece of basic white for our layer and for the inside. So that is 5 1/4 by 4 is going to be our outside layer. Then this is our inside. Here was my 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 square, and I just cut it in half, and I used my paper trimmer and just lined up both of my points in my trimmer track. Okay, and then I've got a piece of Night of Navy that measures 2.5 by 3.25, and another piece, which is the front side or the back side, whichever way you want to look at it. And this one measures 2.25 by 3. So that's going to be layered onto there. I did use the third smallest die to cut out of basic white, our tag for our greeting. And the greeting that I'm using tonight, ladies, is one of the new ones that are the online exclusives, the Sweetly Scripted. So I'm using the happy birthday because I wanted some of the squiggly extra lines, but I didn't need all of it. So it looked really kind of cool that it kind of goes from edge to edge. So we're going to stamp that first. Hi, Cindy. I'm glad that you made it on. We've already made one card, but you can go back and watch the replay. I encourage you to. And I got a little bit of ink on the edge of my stamp there. And now I have it on my hands, but let me get a wet wipe. Otherwise, I will transfer that Night of Navy to my basic white, and that would not be good. So, what have you been up to, Cindy? Nanette's been working on her swap cards. I can't wait to meet you in person, Nanette. Did you ever figure out which hotel you were staying at? Dorothy and I are staying at the Hampton Inn. Issues with Facebook? I hear you, girl. I hear you. I tell you. I have issues with my ring light tonight. It's not working anymore because I think I wore out the little button. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to huff on my stamp, moisten that ink, make sure that I've got it going the right direction. And I'm going to stamp in the center of my... You're at Embassy Suites? Yeah, we're from our bunch that's going, we're the only ones that are staying at Hampton Inn. Everybody else is in all other hotels, so
I just think ours is going to be the best hotel, and everybody's going to want to come see us.
that's right. Well, I like staying at Hampton Inns, and it wasn't too bad. Okay, so now that one's going to get cleaned. Okay, so then out of the... I told you that I'd use lots of stamp sets. Out of the two-tone floral, it has this bunch of little flowers, and they kind of reminded me of the flowers that are in this paper. So I'm going to use those, and I'm going to stamp those in the Night of Navy, but I'm going to stamp off. And I'm going to just put them up in the corners of my greeting tag. And then one down here on this side. Just to kind of give that a little bit of color for our focal point on our card. Nope, I'm not done with that yet. Then on the inside, I've put Hope Your Day is a Happy One, and that is from the So Sincere stamp set. And that looks just... I think my eyes are crooked. You think my eyes might be crooked? So we're going to stick down our strip of paper first. And this is cut longer than what I actually need it. And that way I can cut it off nice and even. So we're just going to put glue on this. Oh, goodness. It sure did rain today. Gotta get my spectacles on to see this. All right. So don't forget Saturday, coffee, chat, and a card. Gonna have another really cool sketch card for you using a new set that's an online exclusive that is very, very cute and is just raw. I'm not done with that yet. Now I'm going to stamp my greeting on the inside because I have my paper laid down, and I can center it now between here and here, or as centered as I'm going to get it. There we go. Set that off to the side to be cleaned. We are all done. I do too. You're supposed to have rain tomorrow. We're supposed to have rain too. Yeah, we didn't get, we did not really have that bad of a winter, I don't think. Do you other girls that live around the lake area, do you think we had a bad winter? I don't. I mean, there was only that one time that I had to cancel class because of the snow. But other than that, we haven't really had a bad, that's not what I want to do. I want to do this one. So we haven't had a lot of moisture. Oh, easy daisy. I don't think they want your hair.
Daisy hair on.
Yes. I don't think they want daisy hair in their card.
Daisy Sparkle.
Daisy Sparkle, huh? Well, I don't think I want it there. Let me get my eraser and erase that sticky stuff.
She just wants to be part of it.
She does, huh? Yep. She'll be part of it next week, I'm sure. She is such a good traveler.
I found her fancy bow,
her
fancy necklace. That's like this feathery, pink feathery necklace thing.
Did you do we know where her backseat fan is?
In my trunk, and we probably need to get
okay, so she's not huffing if it's really hot down in Houston. I'm hoping for nice weather down in Houston, let me tell you. All right. I know. That's why we need the fan for her, so that she doesn't get overly hot.
I'm not making her wear a dress or anything.
Well, that's good. All right, let's get. I cut that off too short now. Doggone it, Susie. That just aggravates me plumb to death. Let's just get out my trusty trimmer. This is how my week has been. Actually, this is how 2024 has been. Some people are plagued with being sick. Not me. I'm plagued with nothing turning out. Everything kind of going haywire. We're just going to cut that off just 1/8 of an inch, just so that it looks all straight. And we're not going to really be able to tell that it's not a true layer. And I think the older I get, these darker papers, it's harder to see to make them even. All right, so that is all done. Now let's work on the front of our card. And the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to attach our 2 triangles. Make sure that if you're working with a directional pattern, that you cut it with the direction going up and down and not sideways. Ask me how I know, because I have done that before. And I am going to, whoops, I didn't do that right. Well, we're going to do it that way now, because that's the way it's going to happen. I had left some little white area on my prototype. and fail to remember that and put this one right up to the edge, which is okay, because you know what? Either way works. It's not wrong. And if I wasn't doing this in front of you and you got this card, you'd never even know that I made that mistake. Well, we heard geese this morning flying over, so they must be flying back up north. Service berries are blooming. I have a feeling, though, that we could get some nasty weather. Now we're going to attach this one to our Night of Navy rectangle. And you could use your die cuts if you wanted to and make this a different shape. You could use a big circle and do it with that. Okay. Now we're going to lay this piece down on our white. I forgot to get my embellishments out. Would you just get me the champagne rhinestones, please? So we're going to stick this here. We are going to use dimensionals. Thank you. We're going to use dimensionals to pop up our greeting. And it does hang over the sides a little bit. And that's the way I wanted it, because I didn't want to go any smaller with my greeting or with my label, because it would not have fit the greeting on it. So that's the reason why I chose this size, because I did want some of that, I wanted some of that swirl to come off the edges of the greeting. Okay, we're going to put this on the front first so that I'm not having to try to deal with those dimensionals. So ladies, I want you to be thinking, even do some investigating if you want to. Go out and see what the trends for colors are this year for 24 and 25. See if we can maybe guess what new colors we might be getting this year. I have an idea, but I don't know for sure. But I think because we had muted tones last year, Daisy, I can't pet you right now. She's got her snout right up on my elbow. Because we had muted tones last year, I think we're going to have bright colors this year, kind of like what we had in 22, 24. The Orchid Oasis, the Starry Sky, Parakeet Party, Sweet Sorbet, and Tahitian Tide. Now, if I had my choice, I would keep Tahitian Tide. I like that color. It's a nice turquoise color. All right, so now I'm going to just place my, and I kind of looked at my little angles and placed those lined up with the side of my rectangle there. Now we're going to add some embellishments to this. I'm looking at this to make sure that it looks straight to me. I guess it does. I laid it down crooked. And we're going to add some gems. And I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put one up here in this corner. So I'm going to actually do 3 there. And then I'm going to do 3 down here. And because I like to do in odd numbers, is it already out of power?
Yeah, 23 minutes.
Oh.
I would like to just keep it on.
I want to go ahead and do an odd. And so I'm going to just put one right there by the flower. or in that flower, and then that gives me 7. So that is our second card for this evening. And they are both very, very different. So it'll probably be very hard for you to choose which one you like best. I'm trying to find my happy deal. There it is. I can quit looking for it now. Get some of this stuff and clutter out of the way so that I can bring in the cards for you. So there is our one card. And here is this first card that I made that used the Zanny Zoo paper and those zany little animals. See now, Cherie, I'm not so sure I would, depends on what color the neons are. Because I think that parakeet party was like neon green, and it was not one of my favorites, but it went with this paper, and so it looked pretty good with this card, as far as, and also with the other cards that I made. So there's card number 1 and card number 2. Let me know which one you like the best. And I'm going to bring in those other cards that I did as a review. So if you missed it, ladies, here are some other cards that I made with the Zanny Zoo paper just by cutting out the images of the animals. I used the Countryside Corner die cut for this one. Charlene, you like the number 2 card? Yeah, this is just my favorite paper. And then I've got this one here that I used the scraps of the black and white paper with a little dog that's blowing his party favor. I've got this one here that has the animals dancing. They're the ballerinas, and that's got happy dance on it. This one here, the goat is cooking. I figured that most all of you would like number 2. And then I have this one here that says relax. Yes, like I said, my next few videos are going to be favorite paper to the least favorite paper. And this was probably my least favorite in the whole in the whole annual catalog. I'll have to decide which is my next favorite for next week's. So there you have it, ladies. I hope to see many of you on the Coffee Chat and a Card on Saturday at 10 o'clock right here just on Facebook. So you all have a great evening. Stay safe, and we'll catch you later. Bye, everybody.